The Cleveland Browns have officially descended into chaos, and just days before a crucial divisional clash with the Cincinnati Bengals, the situation has spiraled into a franchise-defining crisis. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, the young face of the franchise, is reportedly refusing to suit up after an explosive confrontation with head coach Kevin Stefanski. What began as whispers of dysfunction has now erupted into a public power struggle that threatens not just the Browns' season, but the very foundation of their organizational structure. This isn't a typical quarterback-coach disagreement. It's a battle over authority, respect, and identity in a league where control has never been more contested. The spark that ignited this firestorm came after last week's closed-door team meeting. Sources with direct knowledge describe Stefanski questioning Sanders' leadership and even suggesting suspended quarterback Dillon Gabriel deserved more first-team reps. Stefanski allegedly criticized Sanders' preparation habits, decision-making, and pocket presence. At first, Sanders took the criticism in silence, but witnesses say something in his demeanor shifted. What began as composure turned into confrontation. He left the meeting without a word, leaving teammates and coaches stunned. But this wasn't an isolated incident, it was the culmination of months of frustration. From the moment Sanders was drafted, ownership treated him like a franchise savior, but the coaching staff never fully embraced him. Gabriel's name kept coming up. Sanders endured subtle digs in practice, sharp critiques in film sessions, and constant reminders that he hadn't earned it yet. For months he kept quiet, kept working, and kept producing. But Stefanski's public questioning in front of the team became the breaking point. That breaking point came during Wednesday's practice. Sanders had strung together 3 solid completions during a drill before misfiring on his 4th attempt, a simple miscommunication with a rookie receiver. Stefanski stopped practice entirely. In front of the entire team, he ripped into Sanders, reads going as far as to say, "Gabriel makes that throw blindfolded." For Sanders, the humiliation was too much. He pulled off his helmet, locked eyes with Stefanski, and said, "I'm done with this disrespect." Then he walked off the field, out of the facility, and into one of the most shocking moments that Browns have experienced in years. The fallout was immediate. Within hours, Sanders' representatives contacted the Browns front office with an ultimatum. Sanders would not play against Cincinnati unless there was a formal apology and coaching changes. The demand landed like a bomb in Berea. Owner Jimmy Haslam, who personally backed Sanders on draft night, now faces a choice no owner wants: back his prized quarterback or back his head coach. Both sides are dug in. Stefanski insists on authority and discipline. Sanders insists on respect and validation. Inside the locker room, divisions are already forming. The offensive line, full of veterans who value structure and hierarchy, has largely sided with Stefanski. One lineman reportedly said, "Rookie needs to earn his stripes before making demands." On the other hand, the wide receivers who built chemistry with Sanders during camp are leaning his way. Amari Cooper tried to convene a receivers-only meeting to unify the group, but instead, it highlighted the generational split. Young players back Sanders, veterans back stability. Defensive players have mostly stayed neutral, exhausted by the drama, but frustrated that their preparations for Joe Burrow are being overshadowed. The fan base has erupted into civil war. Social media turned into a battlefield overnight. Box, fire Stefanski trended as supporters demanded a change, while others accused Sanders of entitlement and immaturity. Talk radio callers are threatening to cancel tickets, merchandise sales are dropping, and the team's public image has cratered just days before the season really begins. The timing makes it worse. The Bengals are healthy, focused, and hungry. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are in sync. Their defense is disciplined, and their coaching staff has none of the chaos Cleveland is drowning in. Cincinnati has the luxury of preparing for multiple possible outcomes: Sanders starting in protest, Gabriel thrown into the fire after suspension, or a broken locker room where nothing feels certain. Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo reportedly told someone off record, "We're preparing for everything because they don't even know what they're doing." That blunt assessment speaks volumes. Beyond this week, the consequences for careers are enormous. Stefanski arrived, In Cleveland, with a reputation as an innovative, disciplined builder who led the Browns to rare playoff appearances, now, critics question if he can adapt to the modern era of empowered athletes. Sanders, meanwhile, was billed as the next great Browns quarterback, complete with endorsement deals and ownership's blessing. Now, he risks being seen as either a principled leader standing up for himself or an entitled rookie demanding special treatment. Inside the Browns facility, desperation is setting in. GM Andrew Berry reportedly tried brokering a compromise. Sanders would play, but with limited reps and a gradual integration plan. Both sides rejected it immediately. Stefanski won't accept conditions. Sanders won't accept half measures. The stalemate stands. Haslam has called emergency meetings, even flying into Cleveland personally to demand a resolution. Assistant coaches are updating resumes. Players are whispering about trades. Some sources say rival teams have already inquired about Sanders' availability. The irony is painful. Dillon Gabriel, who was suspended after his own confrontation with Sanders, could now find himself starting in Sanders' place. Suspended for challenging Sanders, then starting because Sanders challenged the coach, that kind of absurdity has defined the Browns' season before it even begins. Publicly, Sanders remains silent. Privately, his camp insists his stance won't change. They believe this is a defining moment. If he backs down, he'll forever be treated as lesser. If he stands firm, he forces respect. Stefanski, meanwhile, knows giving in means losing all credibility, not just with Sanders, but with the entire locker room and any future coaching opportunities. Both men are backed into corners, neither willing to flinch. The national media circus has only intensified the fire. Skip Bayless has defended Sanders, Stephen A. Smith has backed Stefanski, and Pat McAfee has called the entire saga absolutely bonkers. Every network has carved out time to dissect the Browns' implosion, turning it from a local scandal into a national referendum on power dynamics in professional sports. The potential outcomes are catastrophic no matter which way they lean. Fire. Stefanski and you destabilize a coaching staff days before kickoff. Bench Sanders and you waste a season before it starts. Trade him and you admit the biggest draft disaster in franchise history. Try to compromise and you delay the inevitable blow-up. As Saturday arrives, Sanders is reportedly training privately while refusing team activities. Stefanski is preparing as if Gabriel or another backup will start. Players are pretending to focus while bracing for disaster. The mood inside the facility has been described as funeral-like. Everyone knows someone's career is ending, maybe multiple careers. This game against Cincinnati isn't just a divisional matchup anymore, it's a referendum. Who controls the Browns, the coach or the quarterback? Does ownership back structure or star power? Does the NFL lean further into player empowerment or does coaching authority hold the line? The outcome could ripple across the league for years, influencing contracts, draft decisions, and how every team manages its stars. And yet, as Sunday looms, the Browns look anything but ready. Cincinnati is locked in. Cleveland is paralyzed. For Browns fans, it's déjà vu. Another season drowning in dysfunction before it even begins. Decades of quarterback instability seem to be solved with Sanders, but instead, the same old dysfunction has returned, only louder, messier, and more destructive. What's certain is this. The Browns have once again turned chaos into an art form. Instead of preparing to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they're negotiating whether their starting quarterback will even take the field. For all the talent on this roster, for all the promise of the offseason, Cleveland's most consistent trait remains the same: dysfunction, perfected through repetition. This isn't just football anymore. This is a full-blown organizational crisis unfolding on the biggest stage. And unless someone bends, the fallout will define not just the Browns' season, but possibly the future of how power works in the NFL itself.